penetration, insane. Bicycle kicks to the edge, you're harder than Luke Cage. I see you struggling. Just let the hands go, and if not, you get my 1 round KO. Get back, it's my 1 round KO. Hard hits, eye splits, and elbows. Get back, it's my 1 round KO. You never know what you might be dealing with.
We are ready. Is everybody ready for the next fight? I know it's been a long evening, but one more time. We got fighters over there. We got fighters over there waiting to hear you guys scream. Are you guys ready for the next fight? That is good, because here they come. This first fighter is coming to us by way of the blue corner. Having had an amateur record of 5-0, a pro record at 2-0, fighting at 175 pounds, by way of the MMA Institute, by way of Coach Strickland, Mark the Predator Strickland.
Here we go, Matthew Stone. I hope you're ready for fight number 9 of this Victorium Episode 3 presented by the Global Proving Ground. And we were just coming off an amazing fight featuring Kenny Goudreau and Alan Stevenson. Here you see our rules of the cage. All fights tonight follow the United MMA rules. All rounds are 5-minute rounds. No kicks to the back of the head of a ground opponent. No strikes to the spine or to the back of the head.
This should be another epic fight, Brandon. We have Mark Strickland of the MMA Institute. And when you train with legendary Rick McCoy, you know your wrestling's top notch. Last time we saw the Predator, he beat Joe Slaughter at Cage Fury Fighting Championships 18. And before that, he beat Quentin McCottrell at RMMA 25, both by unanimous decisions. So you know he can go the distance. Let's see if he can see if Elder Ramos, his opponent tonight, be able to go the distance as well.
I think so, Matthew Stone. He's definitely had an impressive showing before. And definitely, like you said, this man having the 2 decisions in his past, his first 2 pro fights, definitely has enough in the gas tank to go the distance. But hopefully one of these men will be able to finish the fight a little bit sooner than that.
That's right, very educated fighter. He has heavy hands, but he's known as a counter striker. So this will be an interesting chess matchup. Like I said, we have a wrestling style of Mark Strickland and the wrestling Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style of his opponent, Elder Ramos. Like I said, these 2 are some of the most intelligent fighters you'll see. So it's basically a human chess match.
Well, like you always say, Matthew Stone, you don't ever want to leave anything up to the judges' scorecard because you never know what they're looking for. They could be looking for ground game. They could be looking for ring control. They could be looking for just sheer aggression. Who knows what? So definitely one of these men are going to try to finish the fight early and on their own terms and not leave it up to the judges. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pull up our tail of the tape and see the difference between our 2 fighters here tonight. Again, pretty even as far as height and weight goes, but definitely the experience has to go to Elder Ramos with that 6-5 record versus Mark Strickland at 2-0.
That's right, Elder Ramos training out of the Vanguard Gym. Excellent Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, top-notch wrestling. This should be an epic match. He's also known as a counterpuncher, so let's see what happens. Last time we saw Elder Ramos, he beat Devin Silverback Mosley at Glory Fights by knockout, and before that, he lost to Joshua Key at XFB 36. This should be another epic fight on a night of epic fights, Brandon.
And let's not forget that we saw the Silverback Devin Mosley fight on Victorium Episode 1 and then make a second appearance at Victorium Episode 3 and now, Episode 2, and now we've got his opponent at Victorium Episode 3 presented by the Global Proving Grounds, and we're coming to you from the Aberton Rorton Club Fairgrounds in Gloucester Point, Virginia.
That's right. As you can see, look at the calm on Elder Ramos. Both these men are eerily calm. This is like just another day at the office for them. Like I said, both these men intelligent fighters. This will be a chess match. Like I said, this is what you want to see. This is Global Proving Ground. This is Victorium Episode 3. Let's do this, Brandon.
And definitely last night at the weigh-ins, Elder Ramos was very calm, very cool, very collected. Definitely been in this situation before. And I'm sure that we're going to see great things from this man in the future. Like you were saying earlier, Matthew Stone, both of these men are well-versed in their wrestling background. Some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu study by this man, Elder Ramos, and that is a mean stare if I've ever seen one. That cool, calm collectiveness seems to have carried over and transcended into the ring for these two men tonight.
Oh, look at this. Look at this stare down right now. Like I said, look at this right now. Both men will not be intimidated, even though Elder Ramos is the Operation Octagon light heavyweight champion. Mark Strickland could care less. These two men are warriors. This is going to be an epic battle. Like I said before, the night of epic battles. Tom McGovern about to get it down. Let's do this.
I was just about to say that, Matthew Stone. If there's one man that can control the action inside of this cage, we've got him right there. Our third man, our official, Big Todd McGovern. And look at that, definitely unorthodox stand on the part of Elder Ramos. Almost looks like he's trying to bait the less experienced Mark Strickland. And Mark Strickland misses with that huge overhand right.
That's right. Both men known for the overhand right punches. Like I said, he's going to have to, Elder Ramos is going to have to circle away from the power hand. As I said, both men are known as being counter punchers. So people might think it's a little boring, but basically they're just waiting for one man to make a mistake. Nice inside leg kick there by Elder Ramos.
Like you alluded to earlier, Matthew Stone, this is a chess match, a human chess match, and everybody's trying to become not just a pawn, but a more powerful player. And the way you do that is to move up through the ranks and improve your record. And definitely here, they're going to try to do it tonight at Victorium Episode 3, presented by the Global Proving Ground.
After a crazy, nice head kick attempt there by Ramos after a night of crazy action, I think this is our first official feeling out process tonight, Brandon. Both men are wise. Both men don't want to make a mistake and get caught. So let's see what happens. Both men are using their jab to keep the other one at bay, waiting to counter. This is exciting.
Definitely, I think Elder Ramos is a little bit more cool, more calm in there. And you see Mark Strickland pressing the pace, but leading right into Elder Ramos's game plan. We were talking with him earlier. He said, I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to wait for my opponent to make the first mistake, and I'm going to capitalize. That was a nice exchange there, that leg kick followed by that huge right hand.
That's right. Elder Ramos definitely been working on his kicks. It's like I said, when you we'll see if those leg kicks add up either on, because like it's a what do you call it, a tentative effect or a cumulative effect, excuse me. Multiple leg kicks, it takes your balance away, it takes your punching power away, and you don't get as much spring as your step.
Well, definitely like we saw in the earlier fight between our two heavyweights, Josh Brown and Tony Horn. Tony Horn was getting that leg worked by Josh Brown. In round number 3, he just wasn't able to get enough power on those punches, wasn't get enough stank on the kicks, if you will. And definitely it took its effect. And definitely it might have the same effect on Mark Strickland. Elder Ramos with that huge overhand right, just a glancing blow, and Mark Strickland right back after his opponent, Elder Ramos, pressing the pace.
And you can, nice answer back leg kick there by the Predator. As you can see, the inside leg of Mark Strickland starting to turn red and purple. Like I said, both these men have definitely worked on their stand-up. They're like I said, when you're good at one discipline, it doesn't take long to improve in another discipline, as both men are showing here tonight.
Little more than halfway through this opening round of our 9th contest at Victorium, Episode 3. Oh my goodness, nice exchange there. There we've got Elder Ramos in the black and white, and his opponent, Mark Strickland, in the red and black. Mark Strickland being pressed up against the cage now by Elder Ramos.
That's right. Was waiting for somebody to make a mistake. Finally, Ramos caught the kick, drove him into the back, and we're doing the cage tango. Let's see what the clinch work of Elder Ramos and Mark Strickland is all about. As you can see, he's trying to make a less of a target by standing sideways, trying to block the knees with his hand and his leg. Let's see if he can get it done.
Well, definitely by standing sideways, you leave the groin a lot less vulnerable to those knee kicks and to those body shots. And again, it's not that they're intended, but sometimes the unintentional groin shots can be the difference in a fight, like we saw earlier tonight between Josh Brown and Tony Horn.
I'm impressed with the knee strikes of Mark Strickland. Look how he whips his knee around and then comes in with an extra velocity right there. That's textbook how you knee right there. He's definitely working on a nice knee to the solar plexus there. Like I said, dirty boxing, clinch work. It's a dirty part of fighting, but you have to get it done.
Well, definitely Mark Strickland, I'm sure, learned that in his training at the MMA Institute. And again, with legendary trainers like Rick McCoy, why not? MMA Institute being well represented here tonight in Victorium Episode 3, presented by the Global Proving Ground.
Did you see that Elder Ramos, both men? He's like, hit me, I don't care. And Strickland said, okay, I'll hit you. Hit him with a 1-2 right in the face. This is an awesome fight. Both men, they're finally loose. They're letting their hands fly. As you can hear by the crowd, they appreciate this top-notch fighting.
Just 45 seconds left now in our opening round. Oh, and Mark Strickland with a huge takedown on Elder Ramos, and definitely not what Elder Ramos was expecting.
That was beautiful technique there. He set him up with the overhand right and the leg kick, then shot him for the takedown. Ramos looked like he was going for an armbar. Strickland recovered nicely. Look at Ramos with the high pick right there. Countered by Ramos. Oh, there's almost too much action to call, Brandon.
It is too fast, too quick pace, Matthew Stone. You're absolutely right. But Elder Ramos, he saw an opportunity to stand back up, and he took it. And like you said, he picked the leg and almost took Mark Strickland down. These men are done feeling each other out. 10 seconds left in our opening round. We're back to the ground. We got some rights and lefts to the ribs. Both of these men came to fight here tonight. What an exciting round one. A little bit of a feeling out process, but right after that, all action, Matthew Stone. They, like you said, they let the hands fly, they let the leather go.
As you can tell, like I said, once again, our lovely, lovely ring girls right there. There was a short feeling out process. They felt each other out, and they started having a brawl. That's what I like to see, because both men were known for being technical strikers, and they started letting their hands loose, and that's what I like to see.
I tell you what, neither one of these men are somebody that I'd like to have mad at me and run into in a dark alley. Both of these men look like they came to fight. They both look like scrappers, and they're definitely leaving it all out there in the cage.
I do know that Mark Strickland got taken down over and over again. That definitely has to be in the back of his mind. Every time he throws a kick, Ramos is on it with the catch. He definitely needs to be careful. Both men have devastating overhand rights. All it takes is one of those, and their night is over. As you can see, Elder Ramos, definitely the calmer, more collected of the two. Mark Strickland getting his second win right there. Top McGovern in the middle of the ring. Let's do this, Brandon.
I'm ready. It sounds like you're ready. The fans are about to be ready. And now Todd McGovern's about to be ready. This round number 2 is about to be underway of our 9th fight here tonight at Victorium Episode 3, presented by the Global Proving Ground. Both men come out, touch gloves, and this round number 2 underway, kind of right back where we left off. A punch to the face there, a nice little stiff jab on the part of Mark Strickland.
That's right, a jab is a very important underutilized technique. You have a stiff jab, you keep your opponent in bay and set up other strikes. Nice right cross there by Strickland, setting it up with the push kick. Oh, look at that, another overhand. Both these men have devastating overhand punches. They need to start circling away from each other's power hands. Like you said, look at them, that unorthodox technique, that style, it kind of baffles his opponents, don't you think, Brandon?
I would have to agree, Matthew Stone, and definitely both of these men for being such experienced wrestlers and coming from wrestling backgrounds are throwing a lot of kicks, Matthew Stone, throwing a lot of punches. Definitely not something that I would have expected from people with such illustrious wrestling backgrounds.
Nice right hook right there. Well, as you can see, I mean, when you have two wrestlers of such equal skill, it's basically a stalemate when it goes to the ground. So they're basically going to stand up, throat fist, and see who falls down when it's all said and done.
But definitely, Elder Ramos seems to be more the aggressor, but Mark Strickland sneaking in those punches from time to time. Oh, and able to take down Elder Ramos is Mark Strickland. Mark Strickland ends up in the guard.
I think that actually shocked Ramos. Strickland right there, he looked like he was going for a point set up. Look at the nice footwork of Elder Ramos to swivel around so Strickland can't press him up against the cage. We're finally going to see what the guard of Elder Ramos is all about.
Well, definitely, this is a chance for him to use that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and that wrestling background that he's got to try to get out. See the foot on the hip there? It looks like he was definitely trying to go for just that, Matthew Stone, an armbar. But able to escape and get back to his feet was Elder Ramos.
You see how quickly he popped right up to his feet? He doesn't leave himself open for very long. You only have seconds of a window for you to capitalize on Elder Ramos. But that push kick has definitely found a home here tonight.
Got him back up against the cage now. Does Elder Ramos. Mark Strickland been in this position before. A nice knee finds its mark right in the solar plexus of Mark Strickland.
So I saw Mark Strickland take a deep, deep breath right there. He's definitely the grueling pace of this fight. As you see, nice leg trip right there by Elder Ramos. Has a push up in the corner. Strickland is definitely softening him up, but he needs to wall walk and get back on his feet. This is not where he wants to be.
Definitely not a good position for him with Elder Ramos, the more experienced fighter, but holding the leg, trying to get some control was Mark Strickland. He might be trying to wall walk, but holding those legs tightly, clenched tightly, is Elder Ramos.
As you can see, he's tried to wall walk. Elder Ramos grabbed his legs, pulled him back out, and he's almost in the mounted position up against the cage. Strickland needs to be very careful here. If he lets go of Elder Ramos right there, he's going to raise up and deliver strikes. Looked like Strickland was looking at the clock there to see how much time we have left.
I think that he's looking at Todd McGovern, see if he's going to stand him back up anytime soon. Again, Mark Strickland's got Elder Ramos in kind of a neutralized position, but Elder Ramos trying to get in those shots, still trying to work and advance his position. And again, Mark Strickland just holding his opponent, waiting for Todd McGovern to stand these two back up.
You see, Elder Ramos is doing the smart thing. He is staying busy. You're absolutely right. It does look like Mark Strickland's going for a stalemate, but as long as Elder Ramos keeps working, keeps improving his position and throwing strikes, McGovern's not going to stand it up. Strickland realizes this, and he has to go on some offense with some nice elbows to the thigh there.
Elbows to the thigh, elbows to the side of the rib. Definitely going to try to get some damage done, but holding on to Elder Ramos is Mark Strickland. Mark Strickland, again, still looking at Todd McGovern, waiting for them to stand him back up. He needs to try to make something happen on his own and not wait for the referee.
They said nice technique there by Ramos. As soon as Strickland stood up, he grabbed the back of his legs and pulled him back down. Strickland does not want to be here. He was hoping for a referee restart, but since Elder Ramos is staying so busy, oh, there it is finally. Strickland got up, men separate. The crowd's applauding for that great action. And flying knee right there by Strickland.
If that had hit, that could have been it, Matthew Stone. Oh, he caught the leg and tried to deliver a huge overhand right, but just out of reach was Mark Strickland. Oh my goodness, it looks like he tried to hit the knee. It looked like there was a bit of a low blow, and right all over top of him was the predator, Mark Strickland. I don't think Todd McGovern saw what happened, and Elder Ramos is just going to have to deal with it and try to get out of this precarious position.
That's right. Mark Strickland is doing what you're instructed to. The referee didn't stop it. He sees the opportunity right now, and now he has back control. He has over-under control with the hooks in on Elder Ramos. Let's see how Strickland's been working on his ground game, because we know the jiu-jitsu skills of Elder Ramos are top-notch.
Less than 20 seconds left in this second round of this bout between these two competitors, Elder Ramos and Mark Strickland. What a fight it has been. There's been lots of stand-up, lots of unorthodox kicks, unorthodox strikes, and now where he might have him in a rear naked choke or trying to set up for it. The sound of the bell, and Elder Ramos might have been saved by the bell. Who knows, Matthew Stone? 20 more seconds on the ground. We might have been at the end of the fight right now.
That's right. Definitely an unintentional low blow. The ref did not see it. So Strickland, you could say he took advantage of it, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. Ramos went down, and he pounced on him. That was an epic end to that fight. I think Strickland definitely tried to take it. Like I say, he might have won it on the judges' scorecard there at the end by having back control going for submission. Ramos might be a little hot for that, so I can't wait to see what this next round is going to be.
Mark Strickland breathing a little heavy there. Getting some words of encouragement from his corner. An amazing second round, Matthew Stone. I can't wait to see what the third round is going to entail. But I'm not going to have to wait too long. That was the sound of those. Oh, Mark Strickland coming out over early. Running past Elder Ramos. Had no idea what was going on right there. Look, Todd McGovern having some words telling Mark Strickland to get back to his corner. That was only the sound of the bell. That wasn't the start of the round.
I know Strickland's ready to go. He's sensing like a shark smelling blood in the water. Elder Ramos is getting the crowd pumped. I think we're about to have a war here, Brandon. Both these men have had two epic rounds. We're going into round 3. The crowd is on their feet. Here we go.
Well, definitely that might be a little look of frustration on the part of Mark Strickland. Definitely he's got to try. Oh, nice jumping knee. Oh, he tried another one, slipped and fell, able to get back to his feet, and Elder Ramos is just stalking his opponent.
That's right. Double flying knee attempt there by the Predator right there. He's definitely opened up his repertoire, if you will. He's throwing everything out. Nice, almost uppercut attempt right there. Lazy takedown attempt, easily telegraphed, and Elder Ramos stuffed it. Both men, they seem to be a little bit gassed. Nice heel pick right there for Mark Strickland. He needs to be careful of those kicks.
Absolutely right, Matthew Stone. And even that downward heel kick right there, Mark Strickland able to get a couple kicks to the leg and a couple punches to the head before Elder Ramos gets back to his feet. Elder Ramos right back. And again, the aggression on the part of Elder Ramos to Mark Strickland. Mark Strickland trying to fake that kick there.
What a night of fighting, Brandon. We've had womp stomps, we've had Jaeger bombs, we've had du jours, and this is another great fight. You see Strickland appears to be reeling. Oh, nice swing right there. Can he get the high ankle pick again? Looks like a guillotine attempt by Ramos.
Back to the mat, Matthew Stone. Here we go. In a place that Mark Strickland doesn't want to be. Again, this is a little bit different, though. Elder Ramos takes the back now.
That's right, using his Virginia Jiu-Jitsu skills right now. He's trying to get around the back of him. Strickland needs to be very, very careful here. He's holding on to the arm. He's defending properly. Elder Ramos needs to be delivered knees to the midsection there. It's wide open and crying for it. There you go. That's how you do it, Ramos.
I think he might have heard you, Matthew Stone. He was definitely giving those knees to the shoulder, to the under the arm, and then right to the small of the ribs there.
Looks like Strickland might be tiring a little bit, gassing. Both these men have given it everything they've had. There's no quitting either one, and it seems like Ramos has a little bit more in the tank right now. I see a little bit of blood on Strickland there.
I was just about to comment on that, Matthew Stone. I'm not exactly sure what opened him up, but definitely he has been opened up a little bit, right in between the eyes, and definitely now like a shark smelling blood in the water. Elder Ramos is all over that injury.
That's right. He's definitely zeroing in on that blood right there. Devastating punches, nice knees. This is Mark Strickland does not need to be here. He is not going to win the fight this way. He needs to reverse his position. Nice knee from Strickland. Look at the sweat flying off from these punches. Both these men giving everything they have.
Elder Ramos with a couple of stiff jabs right to the head of Mark Strickland. Mark Strickland shoots for the leg, all he could do, and Elder Ramos is right on top of his opponent, a couple of punches to the ribs.
Strickland needs to be careful. It looked like Ramos was sitting for a triangle right there, but Strickland counters it nicely, realizes what's going on. Like I said, these two men are still some of the most intelligent fighters. They brawl too, apparently, but as you can see, both men patiently counter the other one. Once again, like I said, this is an excellent scramble. Both men back to their feet and right back down again. Look at this action, Brandon.
Well, we can't count out the elements here, Matthew Stone. We can't forget we are outside in the middle of July at Gloucester Point, Virginia, right off of the York River. It's a little bit humid out here. They've been out here all night. It's a little warm, and you can see the sweat accumulating on the mat as Elder Ramos just raining down those rights to the rib of Mark Strickland.
Mark Strickland needs to be careful. His left arm there is pinned under the leg of Elder Ramos. He got it out. Ramos now taking the back of Strickland. Strickland rolls over. Side control by Ramos. Look at this action, Brandon. Devastating ground and pound here. He tried to get the hook in, but Strickland realized it and countered. This is great fighting action.
I saw a back hammer fist there on the part of Elder Ramos. This matchup has had everything that you could possibly want in a fight, Matthew Stone. We've seen jumping knees, we've seen uppercuts, we've seen jabs, we've seen great stand-up, we've seen great ground game, we've seen reversals, we've seen back and forth. This is too close to call.
Yeah, like I said, I would hate to be the judges. Every fight here has been top-notch, and this is not disappointing. But it seems right now Elder Ramos definitely has the advantage. Nice straight down punch to the side of the head by Elder Ramos. Strickland's doing everything he can. He's covering up nicely, but some of those shots are getting through, Brandon.
Definitely Elder Ramos is picking his shots. Mark Strickland, like you said, trying to do everything he can to get away from this position. Only 40 seconds left in our final round here of our ninth fight of Victorium Episode 3 presented by the Global Proving Ground.
Mark Strickland needs to be careful. Elder Ramos looks like he might be going for Kimura. He has that one arm isolated under his leg. They're in the north-south position. Strickland's trying to use his toes to roll off the cage, but Ramos using that nice wrestling balance. It's hard to buck a wrestler because they're trained to have great balance on the mat. It's very hard to do that, even though both men are slippery, but give Strickland credit. He is fighting out of everything Ramos put him in, and he's still trying to go for a takedown.
Again, we can't take anything away from Mark Strickland or Elder Ramos. Both of these men have put on an excellent display of mixed martial arts action here tonight. And coming to the end of the round 3, sound of the bell, and this matchup is over. We did have a 3-rounder, Matthew Stone. We're going to have to wait and see what the judges' scorecards say. But I tell you what, this man right there, Mark Strickland, gave it his all. His opponent, Elder Ramos, gave it his all. They left nothing out on the cage floor, and neither one of these men have anything to be ashamed of the way they fought here tonight in Victorium.
And as you can tell by the crowd's on their feet, the applause is loud.
So, having said that, I like to get the audience's opinion. Who thinks Strickland?
Definitely hear some crowd fan support for Mark Strickland, the Predator.
Who thinks Ramos?
It's almost a little too close to call, Matthew Stone. And again, this is just the fans' approval
Even the fans can't decide. I mean, I hate to be a judge, even the fans can't decide, but it looks like Strickland's a little more tired as he is sitting down there on the end. He's definitely gassed. This has probably been his toughest opponent yet to date, but this is, like I said, another epic fight on the night of epic fights. I know I said it over and over again, but that means it's true.
Well, we're definitely going to have to wait for the judges' scorecard. Big Todd McGovern got both of our fighters in the center of the ring. They shake hands. Just waiting on our official word.
Once again, another great fight on a great fighting night, Brandon.
The Victorium always delivers. The Victorium, global proving ground, everybody associated with tonight always delivers. Great fight ups, matchups.
Once again, another close fight. It's hard to tell. Judges deliberating. Like I said, it is so hard. Like you said, who knows what the judge is looking for? Octagon control, aggressiveness, countering. You know, you never know. But with the way tonight's gone, you never know what's going to happen.
Like I was saying earlier, neither one of these men have anything to be ashamed of. Both of these men let the hands fly, let the feet fly, did everything they could from their wrestling backgrounds to try to get a win tonight. Like you said, it was a chess move. They would move into to checkmate. They would get out, and we're here at the judges' scorecard. Again, you heard split decision for this man, Elder Ramos. It could have gone either way. But I guess the judges saw something in his fight, maybe the aggression, who knows what. But nonetheless, another victory for this man as he improves to 7-5 for Elder Ramos.